We could feel also the spirit from the people here.
What is most impressive is how vivid the legacy is.
Utah Olympic Park, Discover Winter. We have incredible things that are happening here.
Well, all this week, the highest praise possible for Utah and Salt Lake City as the International Olympic Committee visited our state to see if we can be awarded the 2034 Winter Games.
Utah really has done all it can to get a second Winter Olympics, improving on nearly every venue it used back in 2002.
We've got team coverage of today's tours and visits from the IOC. Deanie Wimmer joining us now live from the Olympic Oval in Kearns. And Deanie, we saw you at 4. It looks like today was a perfect visit.
Almost perfect. Now, you're right. This was the final tour, final stop on their tour of our Olympic venues and looking at our readiness. And exactly right. The feedback so far has been overwhelmingly positive. So we were surprised when the head of our Olympic organizing committee admitted that there had been a mistake. Now, I have to preface that this was nothing so glaring, so terrible that it had an impact on the delegation as they arrived here at the Oval this afternoon. They got to look at the venue. They were pleased with the venue, but CEO Fraser Bullock acknowledged with some humor that this was something that had to be fixed.
I would say the only mistake we made is that one of our venues, we did not have the Austrian flag there. So we corrected that, and here we have the Austrian flag because our chair of the Future Host Commission is Austrian.
There you have it. So they did have to fix it, and I don't know where you get an Austrian flag in an emergency, but they managed to get one, and they took care of it, and everything else about this day went off without any hitches. So that's the portion of the Olympic tour here at the Oval. Alex, you can see there were other reasons as part of your tour that it was important that they fix that flag. But what I really loved hearing from you is that when members of that delegation got off the ski lift at Snowbasin, which is where they went earlier today, they gasped.
Oh, they couldn't believe it. And that's saying a lot that they gasped, Dina, because a lot of them come from Europe and countries like France and Switzerland and Austria, where they're used to the Alps, which are such a beautiful mountain range up there. However, when they got up to the top at Snowbasin, that got off the John Paul Express chairlift, well, here is their general reaction.
Wow. Just say wow.
That is Carl Stoss. He's the chair of the IOC's Future Host Commission. When I asked him what he thought about Snowbasin, he was excited to see it because he's the guy from Austria. And in 2002, it was Austrian Fritz Strobel who won gold in the men's downhill at Snowbasin, averaging almost 65 miles an hour, one of the fastest performances in Olympic history. This is also where alpine races will be held in 2034 if Salt Lake City gets that bid from the IOC. Now, that's exactly what this entire visit is all about, for the IOC's Future Host Commission to see in person what the Salt Lake Committee put on paper as far as our venue plans. Now, Snowbasin says they've been working on this for 4 years to get their venue bid just right. In fact, the resort's general manager says he has been in touch with the IOC several times, but it was great to meet them in person today, especially with these views on what was a perfect day to bring them up here.
Yeah, they get it. They get off the lift and like, wow, you know, and it's all the accents and all the different languages that they have, and they come in, and I'm the Irishman in the room going, isn't this brilliant? This is amazing.
Snowbasin is set to host downhill, Super G, and the combined races for 2034. And with 10 years to prepare, the general manager also told me they could host additional alpine events such as giant slalom and slalom if need be. But there is no doubt that the IOC was extremely impressed with Snowbasin there. I know the final decision here, it's still about 3 months away, Deanie, but I think we know what they're going to say. Look, the guy Austria with the flag, but he was very impressed because the Austrian won there in Snowbasin. He was having a great day. He was having a great tour. He loves it here in Utah.
And they got the flag fixed.
They got the flag fixed. Everything is good.
Yes, everything is smoothed out. That's wonderful to hear, Alex.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
One of the things that they also have been so impressed with is what you're looking at in back of us. These venues do not go unused. In fact, this ice is being used almost 24 hours a day, so that is something positive. Tomorrow, they will have a debriefing session before they leave. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to show you how one of the biggest lasting impacts from the Olympics is that Utah is not just a mecca for winter sports. Why that's such a big deal coming up at 6 o'clock. But big issues avoided, and we're smoothed out and ready to have a good weekend now.
Yeah, good thing we have a couple of flag stores here in Utah that could run down there and get one and put it up. I love it. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Deanie. KSL is your home for all things Olympics. You can watch our in-depth coverage of the state's efforts to get the Winter Games back to Utah right now on KSLTV.com and on the KSL Plus app.
And the countdown to the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris continues to tick down. Next week, we will mark 100 days until the opening ceremonies. Our team is ready for the Summer Games, and we have some big exclusive stories ahead leading up to the Games.